forerunner to Johannesburg's mighty Speed the Victory Fair is this impressive parade through the streets of the city. Forceful reminder to the home front of those 80,000 Springboks in the field. Giant tanks dipping their guns in salute give evidence of the growth of South African armour. And now the great day. On the wide green acres of the Zoo Lake grounds, a town has sprung up, and thousands of men, women and children have responded to the call to come to the fair. The fair is opened by General Smuts. While the Prime Minister inspects the guard of honour provided by the Transvaal Scottish, 54 planes roar overhead in a ceremonial salute. Paying tribute to the South African Air Force, General Smuts said, "In the air we have done and are doing a grand job. Today we have no fewer than 34 active squadrons, and their operations range through the whole field of air warfare." In his opening address, the Prime Minister also referred to those dark times that now lie behind us.
2.5 years ago, probably none of us thought that at the end of this year, 1944, we should still be fighting this terrible war. The high hopes which we had entertained when I spoke here 2.5 years ago of throwing the German and Italian armies out of Africa were suddenly dashed. And we found ourselves fighting desperately on the threshold of Alexandria to keep Rommel and his victorious army at bay. We are proud, incidentally, to remember that it was the 1st South African Division, fighting splendidly in that first battle of Alamein, that was largely responsible for holding Rommel out of our vital line of communications through the Suez Canal. Now, 2 years after, what a transformation. We stand on the crest of the hill. Our armies are on or near the borders of Germany everywhere. In the east and the far east too, Japan being beaten back everywhere. A fleet decimated. MacArthur back in the Philippines. And Japan's hour of fate daily drawing nearer. What a story, what a transformation, but also what an effort it has meant. South Africa has played a part, a great part, of which not only we are proud, but of which coming generations of South Africans will be prouder still.
The fair is open, and things get going with a big swing. All the fun of the fair and more LSD for war funds. Among the national exhibitions is the imposing Soviet Pavilion, its proportions worthy of Russia's great achievements. The quickest way to see everything. A planned tour of the fairgrounds, including Tiny Town, the midget metropolis that has captured the imagination of young and old. A miniature city complete in every detail. The UDF exhibit, incorporating an Air Force section where you can get a ringside seat to inspect some of the aircraft that are enabling the Allies to maintain victory in the air. And here the boy's dream come true, an anti-aircraft gun that he can operate himself. Rough riding in the arena, while the stage is set for the picturesque cavalcade of artillery. Here's a gun of the year 1650, as used in the time of Jan van Riebeck. But time marches on, and in 1700 this was the popular weapon. A big jump now to 1900, and the 15-pounder of the Transvaal Republic starts artillery. 1918, the 18-pounder used by the South African artillery at the close of the last war. And lastly, some of the guns which our Springboks have handled in this present conflict. Several hundred members of the women's services take the field to show their precision in a mass physical training display, an illuminating illustration of the high standard of fitness in the forces.